Удивительное утро 25 апреля, раннее утро, в парке, окруженном со всех сторон скоростными трассами, поют птицы, цветут магнолии, деревья, парят птицы. Удивительно просто. Такой островок совершенно необычной атмосферы и энергетики посредине реально сумасшедшего Нью-Йорка, можно сказать. Вот. И продолжается забег на 10 дней, продолжается забег на 6 дней. Заканчивается шестой день забега на 10 дней и второй день на 6 дней. Наши ребята, Нербаша и Андрея, они делают около 80 миль в день. Просто супер стандарт. Откровенно супер стандарт для таких соревнований. Но вот хочу пригласить в студию удивительную бегунью из США, Ребеку, которая перерегистрировалась. Она выиграла трехдневный забег и перерегистрировалась на шестидневный забег. Давайте поинтересуемся, как ей это удалось и как у нее дела. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning.
Как дела?
Хорошо. Чуть-чуть устала.
Чуть-чуть устала. Wow, amazing. So, how do you feel on the second day of your 6-day race adventure?
I think pretty good, all things considered. I wasn't planning on this one. So,
But why you did?
I was walking on the day after the 3-day race completed. So I had spent the night to get some sleep before driving home, and I woke up the next morning and came out of my tent and saw Eva was walking by, and I said, "Can I walk a lap with you?" And she said, "Yeah, no problem." And we were walking, and she said, "You're already here and you're walking, so maybe you should just continue with the 10-day race." And then shortly afterwards, we were partway through this loop, and Ribasha came running by, and he stopped, which he doesn't do much.
Right.
He stopped and he said, "You're here. Oh, and you're going. You should just stay and do the 10-day race."
It seems like a higher power try to inspire you through different runners.
Yeah. So, and then he said, I'll just say that. And then he ran off, and he came back around and he said, "I'm just going to add one more thing, just a small thing. You're going, ask them to get a piece of paper and just count your laps while you decide. And then if you stay, you'll have an accurate count."
Wow.
So
amazing.
Yeah. And, luckily my boss at home is very, very supportive of these adventures that I like to do.
You're a teacher?
I'm a teacher, yeah.
What do you teach?
I teach English as a second language.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we're on school vacation this week, but everybody goes back on Monday. So I saw the 3-day race and I knew that was possible in the school break, but not the 6 or the 10-day. So, I started thinking about maybe I'll try it.
No regrets so far?
No regrets, absolutely
amazing.
Not. I love it here. It's great.
Amazing.
And so.
But your first time doing, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And may I ask, Vermont is a beautiful, hilly nature place. How come you end up in a crazy New York doing something extraordinary?
I look at where the races are held and what fits with my schedule. And it just so happened that this race was perfect timing. And really the nature here, even though it's in the middle of the city, I've seen so many different birds,
Right.
and you can hear them singing all the time, even over the sounds of the traffic and the people. So, you know, I feel like we're in our own little bubble here with the world
Right.
going on outside around us. So,
I was amazed to learn that you're a donor and you gave basically your own kidney
yes.
a few years ago, I think. Like,
Yeah, in 2020.
so generally, you're competing with one kidney,
Yes.
and you won the 3-day race.
Yes.
Wow.
That was, I don't know how that happened. That was, I don't know.
Amazing. Amazing. We're like really all admiration for you. Can you tell what you like the most being here?
I like the feeling of community
Mm-hmm.
in this race, and I love so much that there are people from everywhere.
Right.
You know, at home I work.
I think about 20 countries
Really,
right
yeah.
now. Mm-hmm.
So at home I work with families, different refugee and immigrant families, and I love that part of my job a lot because I like travel and I like learning about new places and learning about new people and cultures. And I came here and everyone is just so welcoming, and I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if I would feel out of place because I've never done a race like this before. And I looked, you know, before coming, I looked up some of the athletes who were participating, and I was thinking, wow, maybe I'm out of my league a little bit because there are some very impressive athletes here.
I think we have about like 10 runners performing more than 70 miles on average per day. And it's really high standard.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And first two boys, Nirbasha and Andrea,
Yeah.
I think they about 80 miles per day.
It's very interesting and entertaining to watch them. Yeah, it's a nice friendly competition, and
Nice, friendly, exactly.
Yeah, and very inspiring. I'm just amazed at how they can just keep running at that speed and for that long.
And talking to you, actually, right?
Yeah. Well, Nirbasha is so quick with what he has to say. He'll run by and he'll pause for 5 seconds and he'll say something, and then he'll just take off, and then it takes me.
You know, it's years of experience running 3100 when you really need to express yourself in few words and just go on. So
he's an expert.
Yeah, he's an expert, exactly.
And he has such a great sense of humor. I really enjoy when he does stop for 5 seconds to talk.
So far, what is a good jog for you? What was a good jog?
Well, just this morning, I went into the cafeteria to get a cup of coffee, and he was right behind me. Like he ran behind me, and he came in right behind me, and he said, "Hey, what's it like out there?" And I said, "Oh, it's brutal." And he said, "Yeah, the carnage. There's blood everywhere. Grown men are crying to their mommies." And then he got some food and ran off. So just little things like that. He brings a lot of humor to everybody. So
and fullness of life.
Yeah.
Thank you, Rebecca, so much.
Yeah, спасибо.
Yeah, right, спасибо. Good luck with your journey.
Thank you.
And see you at the finish line.
Okay.